The who? Dejanique? Gray. Gray. I'm sorry. Miss Assistant AD, Associate AD. What's your title? I don't even know your title. Oh, you AD. Anyways, I need help.
Which one?
Number two,
Dajabin.
Dajanique, and then Miriam. What's her last name? Hashim.
Hashim.
Hashim. Okay. Say number two one more time, cause I'm saying it in my head. Dajanique. 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 Let me write that down. Where you go? He gotta cover his alma mater. He ain't slick. Oh, by a reporter? Oh Lord, isn't that? Where's the escorts? Your moderator for today. Joining us is head coach Tanisha Lewis of Elizabeth City State University with number 21, Jessica Adams, number 2, Dajanique Armfield, and number 11, Miriam Hashim. Before we open it up for questions, we will have an opening statement from the head coach.
I got to give all due respect to Johnson C. Smith. We knew it was going to be a tough game because they just play hard. And Shania Jones and Bowens were just outstanding. But I'm super proud of our young ladies because, we knew in the tournament it's going to come to a stop and a rebound. And they got that done. They defensively, they stepped up. And then offensively, they made a shot when it mattered. And most importantly, win the ship.
And now we will open it up for questions. Before you ask your question, please state your media affiliation.
Coach Jacob from the Baltimore Sun, you mentioned a few of their star players that can be difficult to stop. Can you talk about what the game plan was and especially that last stop at the end there when you probably assume that Shania is going to...
Oh, no doubt. I tried to get Shania. I know she can play. Utmost respect for her. But, I put Mary in the game, to affect her. Mary's a great, Marion, right here to my right. Is a great defensive player. And we know that they'll make shots, but we wanted every shot contested. And so Marion did a great job keeping her in front, make her take a tough shot, and Jess did a good job of getting a rebound.
And then Dajanique, 20 points. Can you talk about her performance tonight, really leading your offense?
Di can play, I think if she can do it all, she can score at all three levels, finish at the rim, one dribble pull up, 3-point shot. Getting adjusted to the CIAA is her biggest, adjustment. But, I'm not surprised because she can do this any given night. And I got several players that can do this, which, hopefully takes the pressure off them individually so that, hey, if I have a bad night, it's not going to cost us the game. Somebody else going to help me out.
Stephen Gaither, HBCU Game Day. For the players, any of you guys that were here for last year, you're back in the championship game. Just talk about, that experience last year, how you've grown from it, and what you have going forward.
None of these babies was in the tournament last year, so we didn't come back to get second, and that's the mindset.
Yeah. Any further questions?
eat.
Any of the players, can you talk about your excitement about
Okay.
being in the championship game? Whoever wants to answer, just, I know it's been a long season. Can you just talk about the excitement of being in the championship?
Yeah, I would say for Miriam and I, it's long overdue. Just with COVID and many other things on our previous teams, we had success, but we weren't able to get a tournament because of COVID. So we just feel like it's a little bit of unfinished business for us. And then coming into this program where we know what happened last year, it just makes us all that much more hungrier.
Me personally, I've never been in a championship. All the teams I played for, like, will make it, but we ain't get to the finish line. So this, for me, is extremely exciting, and I'm just ready to win the ship.
Yeah, we're gonna finish.
Okay, I just feel like with like the seniors especially, like they were here in the championship last year, so like I feel like I really want to win for them, especially because it's like their last year. You know what I'm saying? They're in the championship. Like this is their last time they could play here, and like we owe them and like all the work we put in to win a championship. So that's what's coming.
Yeah, their leadership's on another level.
Another
right
level.
now.
Facts.
And then Dajanika, coach said that the fact that you guys have multiple players who can, be that top scorer in any given game, she said that maybe takes the pressure off. Would you agree with that? What was your mindset coming into this one?
I definitely agree with that because any of us can drop 20, 25, 30 points if we wanted to. It's just about how we prepare mentally for when we get ready and step on the court. Me personally, I just had to get some things aside mentally, and I just was really locked in today, and I just went out there and hooped.
Hi, David Barnes from CTV News. So I came in midway, so hopefully I'm not asking a question that was already asked before, but you played in the first round, and now you're in the championship. So what do you think has been the difference from the regular season to now the tournament for you? All of you.
Oh, you asking like everybody?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
I
mean,
think-
one of the players and the coach in particular. Every player doesn't need to answer the question.
I just think like our mindset, like even pregame and how we're locked in is different. Like we're on a different level when it comes to like how we approach each game. Like we're out here really fighting and working our hardest. Like preseason or regular season we were, but like I feel like now because it's like one and done, we can't afford to not be locked in all the time, and we got to play 40 minutes. So I think that's just the difference. Like,
Coach.
We've just been talking about elevate your level and maximize the moment. It is a privilege to be in the CIAA, and it's an absolute honor to be at this tournament and have your ECSU family behind you, the band, the D-Lights, and then all our alum. So it kind of forces you to give the people what they deserve. And they deserve a good product. They deserve to see players play hard, play together, and a great brand of basketball. So I just think that, it's all of it. Our AD has been trying to raise the level of expectations for our department as well. So and the leadership of Dr. Dixon. So I think it's just everything is coming together at the right time. You just want to win your last game.
And this, hopefully, yesterday you talked about going back and looking at your games against Bowie State. So what's your approach in terms of looking at what you did during the regular season, who your opponent's going to be tomorrow, how you're approaching looking back and preparing for tomorrow's game?
I look at what we need to do differently and how we need to be successful on both ends of the floor. I got to wait till 8 o'clock, probably 10 o'clock before we know who we play. But I'm not really that concerned about who we play. I'm just making sure what we do.
Thank you, and that concludes the press conference.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
B, right here.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2023 CIAA Postgame Press Conference. My name is Tiana Cephas, your moderator for today. Joining us is head coach Dante Travis of John C. Smith University, and number 30, Lazaria Bowens, and number 3, Shania Jones. Before we open up for questions, we will have an opening statement from the head coach.
This one hurt for us. Tough loss. I thought our girls fought extremely hard down the stretch. I think the beginning of the game, that stretch where we just did not score, missed a few layups, actually a lot of layups, and let them get out in transition and score some easy buckets. I think that hindered us early. Coming out in the second half, we kind of locked down defensively a little bit better, controlled the glass a little bit more. I think we end up winning the rebound battle, I believe. Hadn't really looked at the stat sheet yet. But I just think down the stretch, just mental mistakes, turnovers, and free throws were pretty much the basis of the loss at the end.
And now we would open up for questions. Before you ask your question, please state your media affiliation.
Coach Jacob from the Baltimore Sun. Both of these players, played really hard tonight and led your team in multiple ways. Can you just talk about both of them and what they've meant to your team this season and how hard they played tonight?
These two are the heart and soul of our team. Lazaria Bowens, we call her Z, coming off an injury from last year. She came back maybe the first conference game of the season, struggled a little early just getting the rust off, but she came on as she's supposed to as an all-conference post player. She showed everyone or made them remember who she was. So I think she had a hell of a year this year. I'm sad that we're losing her as a graduate student. It's going to be tough to fill her shoes. Shania Jones, I don't think I need to say anything about that. Again, two of our best players, man, they meant, they were mental for us this year, to say the least. But again, it's going to be hard to fill shoes of, our two scorers.
Shania, I know a loss like this really stings, but you guys were down for most of the game, and you guys made a kind of a comeback attempt there in the fourth quarter. You proud of you and the rest of your teammates for really getting back into that game and making it really tight at the end?
Can you repeat the last part?
Are you proud of your teammates and yourself for making that a game at the end and making it really close?
It's unfortunate, obviously, but I am proud of my teammates. It is a tough loss. It's not really much we should hang our heads about, even though we are sad right now. We feel emotions, we feel how we feel. But overall, I feel as though through all the adversity we went through all the injuries and everything that we had to deal with, I feel like this was good for us, even though it hurt. But at the end of the day, we came a long way. So.
And then Lazaria, I think when you guys had that last possession, everybody in the arena assumed that Shania was going to get the ball and it was going to be, on her shoulders. Can you talk about how, important she is to this team and how much faith you had in her in that moment?
Honestly, like we said, Shania is a great player offensively, and she has been all year long. She's led CIAA in scoring. So with that being said, she's a threat to everybody. Everybody has to pressure up because they know that she is going to score. She's going to look to attack. She's going to look to push for her team.
And then, Coach, they have the best scoring defense in the conference. What makes them difficult to maybe score against? What are some things that they do or some players that they have that maybe make it a little bit more difficult to score on them?
Hats off to, Elizabeth City. They're a really good team. I don't think they did anything to us to necessarily stop us from scoring. I think we hindered ourselves early, missing point-blank layups. I think first quarter we shot an astounding 16% or something of that nature, 2 for 12 or whatever it was, as well as the second quarter. So I don't think they did anything to us per se. But again, I'm not taking anything from them because, they're a hell of a team. But at the end of the day, I think if we would have scored buckets early like we did as of late, we wouldn't even be having this conversation, and maybe we would have been the first one to interview.
That concludes the press conference. Thank you.